But no, I don't know what that song is, and I cannot sing it. I'm not even gonna try to sing it because it would be horrible, and you would regret having to try to have made me sing it. I want a big iron room by Marty Robbins. How? Okay, no. How am I getting you a big iron room by Marty Robbins? It's country music. You don't have to be a good singer because it's gonna sound anyway awful anyways. Hold on. The problem with getting it out is I need the right word. Let me tell you something. Country singing isn't about country singing. Don't sound awful. The real problem is everyone thinks that all country singing is about how your dog took your girl and ran off in your truck, and that's not what country singing's about. Country singing is about how your girl took your dog and ran off in your truck. Golly, you guys are dumb. Hey, everybody on YouTube, what happened to you in your 1 to 16 days? Look, I'm behind schedule. It'll be out eventually, I swears. I swears. We got both kinds, country and western. Welcome, the bears on the ice and nuts are all over. I mean, I sing country music even though I'm awful at speaking English. I thought I did. I thought I ordered a place for the caravan way long time ago. Do I not have... Oh, cancel that. I should have just made this out of wood. Should have known that I was going to need a metalsmith. Yeah. That's because we get to a depressed number, they throw moods and they die, so the more become depressed, and we're just slowly losing them all. RNG Strategist spent his teen years digging large networks of tunnels and rooms deep underneath his house. So I didn't have to, nature did. In warmer climes, we'll say. So I don't think this happens for those of you in Germany, England, and maybe France. I don't know if France gets this warm. But down south in Texas and perhaps in, we'll say, northern Africa. So we'll say perhaps maybe in Italy, except Italy's surrounded by water, so I don't know if that counts. Maybe central Spain. It gets so hot and dry that the ground cracks. So you have to sit there with these little hoses during the summer, and you have to water down your foundation of your house so your house doesn't literally crack and break because of how dry it is. So I didn't ever have to build big holes beneath the house. If you didn't water, your house would just have a big hole beneath it. Spain has very bad soil. I don't even think it's like a bad soil situation, just how dry it is. All right, finally a dwarven civilization. What do I want from you? Clothes. I can say with no uncertainty that I want clothes. That's what I want from you. I'm going to give you what I give you. And that's what you're going to have to deal with. Mark everything on that for trade, and we'll go from there. Water gone? Nope, water in the house. That's to do with the clay content. Just water your house. Gotta water a house, see it grow. Too many sheep. Want to dig tunnels, but then I think about the cave adaptation. I'm such a claustrophobic human. It's not gonna end well for me. It's made of wood. That's how nature works. You ever find forgotten beasts under your house? It's made of wood. That's how nature works. You just gotta grow it, duh. Hey, Sanctum. I have never found a forgotten beast under my home. However, I did used to do tunnels. So I'm gonna make a question. You know, sometimes I have to make questions just to make sure we're on the same page, as stupid as it sounds. Everyone's aware of the Tonka toys, right? They used to be like metal trucks that look like construction stuff. Everyone know what I'm talking about, like the Tonka trucks? You don't know what I'm talking about for Tonka trucks. Tonka. So they legit used to have Tonka trucks. So it'd be like a sizable thing. Hold on. Like top down view, this is smaller than some of the Tonka trucks. Like some of them were pretty big. So you'd have like actual metal trucks. You'd have like the dump truck, not the dump truck, is it called the dump truck? The one where it has the thing in the back. You'd have the different things, and you'd have cranes with little ropes and shit to actually pull up and do things. So you just go to like the local park sandbox and you just start bringing out all these fucking metal trucks and you just start digging tunnels into the sand. Because if you dug deep enough, the sand was compacted that it could hold its own weight. So the idea was to see if you could dig from one side and dig from the other and like join a tunnel within the sand so you'd have actual tunnels. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I wasn't the only kid who did this. If you think I'm crazy, you're just in the you're in the wrong world. Yeah, it was metal. It wasn't like, oh, it looked like metal. It was metal. Used to be one of those things like if you went in or something like you had an injury, the first question was like, were you playing with a Tonka truck? We need to know if we have to give you a frickin' why do I never remember the right words? Rush shot. A shot for tinnitus? No, that's the hearing. Hearing. Tetanus. They go for several $100s now. That sounds amazing. Back in the days, they used sand in the sandbox. Dig down the clay and make clay forts. RNG's crazy. Way better than sand castles. All I did as a kid that had anything to do with tunnels was having unending war with the ants in front of my house. Clay forts kind of cheap. Tetanus. I always felt bad about making clay forts. My parents didn't let me dig in the dirt. That's why I have allergies now 30 years later. Should have gotten them back to the beginning of the conversation. They let you play in that dirt. You would have gotten some parasites. You would have gotten over it in about a week. But you know what? You wouldn't have had allergies now. Every time your nose gets water, you can just think to yourself, I could have just been happy with a week of parasites. You go play with Tonka toys at the raucous game of lawn darts, throwing them at each other. I had butt worms. My friend's neighbor used to have an allergy to bees. And I was like, why you got an allergy to bees? Why don't you just go get the butt worm? You get the butt worm, you can let a bee sting you all day. Look at this, sting, sting, sting. I'm okay because I got a butt worm. Back when I had pox, Mom invited all the kids over from school, so they all got it too. I like that though. I do like the hematite floodgate. The riddle of society, a hematite floodgate. We still have no clue how much it's worth. This is a hematite floodgate. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. The object menaces with spikes of hematite and brown zircon. On the item is an image of Sarvesh, Saber Focus, the dwarf, and basic immorality, the dwarf bone statue of a chameleon in iron. Sarvesh Saber Focus is embracing the basic immorality. The arc relates to the acquisition of the basic immorality and traded teeth by the dwarf Sarvesh as a symbol of authority within a reigning mechanism in the year 195. Is my merchant here? I need my merchant to start learning like number words. Trade at depot. Get to the depot, please. So to make it clear though, just don't get the Lone Star tick. As long as you don't get the Lone Star tick, you should be fine. All right, I don't know what we're giving him that weighs so much. Is it the silver bar? It's probably the silver bar and some other things. Below one, below one, below one. All right, as long as I trade for some of his things, we'll be good. And what I want from him is clothing. And a steel battle axe. Because I can. Oh, I'm at clothes, aren't I? Hold on. Cloak, sock, shoe. Hood, cap. Now I'll go with hood. Mitten. That can't be it. I'll go for some gypsum plaster. I hardly ever make it myself. Is that all we get for clothing? You guys are the worst. Jesus. Well, I still gotta trade more things to you, or I gotta take out the silver bar. That's a bunch of weight. What do you have that weighs the most? Why are you so heavy? We'll take out the fire clay. There you go. Just to get you to calm down. What else can I get from you that might be useful? Silver spear. That's what I want. Steel spear I'll take. I'll take these. He seems pleased with the trading. Good. Just go get parasites. You won't get sick later in life. What the hell is that supposed to be? That's the emoji for there's a lot to unpack. The only positive thing I got from being home all day is that I work out regularly and I'm on the way of resembling a calisthenics. Oh, that is pretty good. I should be doing that. I lose so much will to be a decent participating human being whenever school's happening. What the fuck did I just read? Just use 7-zip. No, but I used to at one point. There was a person I knew, and I couldn't do it now to save my life. But I used to be able to modulate. I used to be able to swing a southern accent into a decent, maybe Irish one. Not really though. There was a regular person who'd get pictures at Walmart. I used to work in the photo lab in Walmart years and years and years and years ago. And the person was Irish. And then, but she had an accent. So when you're talking to someone, you tend to start sounding like them. And as goofy as it sounds, as the more like whenever this person came in, I would talk to them. There'd be a bit afterwards where I'd talk to them like this, and then by the end of it, I'd talk to like this, and then like as it went on, I kind of like it just started being like this weird bastardized version of Southern, and it kind of started to sound Irish to the point where like the person had asked me if I had been in Ireland, and I was like, no. I was like, the only Irish person I've ever spoken to is you, and they were like, you kind of starting to sound like you've been in Ireland. The problem is, one, I was only picking up from the one person. And that was way before I was in the military. So once I went into the military, I just went back to being Southern. Do push-up. No! I tried to do push-ups the one time and I hurt my foot. Also, it's not a seasonal change. We're coming up due in like 2 in-game weeks. Don't get me wrong. Build bookcase. Give me a sec, chat, while I get all these down. So I was off by what, 4? I need 4 more obsidian bookcases, and I think I'll have enough bookcases.
I think I can do this.
Sorry, sir, I can't
I
do
think
it.
I can do this.
There's a bird, so they stopped making it. Fantastic. Well, I put beehives on the top. If I put beehives on the top, wouldn't I get stung? Don't you get stung by beehives? I don't want to put beehives up there. That's where we have one of the temples. I forget which temple it is, but this is where we have one of the temples. There we go. The Ordered Wells. Oh, we have 2 temples? No wonder this is acting borky. The temple inside and this temple are 2 different temples. Or are the same temple, not 2 different temples. So I don't think that it knows where to put them. We have too many areas dedicated to one temple. Is there a deity that does bees? And or nature? That's what this one should be up here. Who is fighting? Why is the grease monkey and him fighting? They were interrupted by a cardinal, and now two people are fighting for no reason. Good. Fantastic. Did you get rid of the other one-time hallway? I did. I got rid of the hallway library. That was in here, and I removed that, so it wasn't working. Imagine sitting around a campfire late at night with a couple of other cowboys, listening to one of them playing this. You know, I should do this. If I can swing into and out of it effectively enough, I should probably like do one of the channel point things just to be like, to have people be like, I paid 200 points, you better switch into Southern, or I actually have to do a hard stop. I can slip into it, but I can't slip out of. I have to do a hard stop to get out of that accent. But someone could then do points and be like, you know what I want? I want New England. I want New England strategist. I want a strategist who parks his car in the yard. I don't know why, but I can go from this straight into this pretty easily and just slip it into the words, but I can't back out of it. Once you get locked into this, it's like your vocal cords are ready. It's like they've finally let their gut out and they just don't want to suck them back in. You cannot fucking get out of this. You can't get, it sounds wrong. Now I don't know what I sound like. I sound like I'm trying to fake a Brooklyn. I can't get back to a regular accent in sentence when I've gone Southern.
Oh, more migrants. That's a law.
This is your manager speaking. Hereby commission to create 1,000 wooden cups. No. That's not happening. I'm rejecting that one. One, that's not a medium room. And two, I'm not making 1,000 wooden cups. And I don't know what the big iron room thing is, so I'm rejecting that one too. I still have to do Mr. Mantium's request from last time. Actually, I think I should reject that one too, truth be told. You said an adamantine room, but you said a medium quality. I can't do an adamantine. Oh wait, didn't I do one for you? Oh no, this is not the room. I'll take an adamantine statue of the adamantine table artifact placed in my room. That one can be done. I'll allow that. Never mind. My nail's sticking up. It was causing an issue. Can you control which books go to the library? I don't think I can. I don't have any books now anyways, because I completely forgot to trade for any when I was trading with the people. Are they still here? No, they have left. Good. It's not like I needed those at all. All right, new question. Do we have anyone in the Survivalist Guild? Domine, and he doesn't have any of the survival skills. He has tanning and leatherworking, that's it. We don't have someone for butchery. And Saint Gifter's a hauler who has butchery. We're gonna switch him over to being a survivalist. Here we go, we're gonna fix that right now. See, that's what I'm saying. I gotta change it around. I need the people to have a flat number, and then after that, I can maybe click on one to be like, all right, you're allowed to move around. Now, someone got dwarfed earlier. I forgot for a little too long because I was in the middle of a story. Who got dwarfed? Because I never read his description. Who got dwarfed? Well, let's go back far enough to let me see who got dwarfed. No. Oh, okay. Does anyone happen to know? I got dwarfed. Cheeser Breezer, thank you. You know what, Cheeser Breezer? We're going to read you like this. Because everyone needs to know about Cheeser Breezer's friends and family as he's all comfy down south. First of all, Cheeser Breezer, he's only got one child, bless his heart. That child barely has a beard on his chinny chin chin, but we love him anyways. Cheeser Breezer's lover is By Way Ye. You know what we say to By Way Ye? Bye. Cheeser Breezer prays to Rash. Most often takes form of a rotting male dwarf associated with valor, death, and suicide. He's had a hard life. He's got a lot of friends, and no, I am not gonna read that list of friends while trying to do this. Cheeser Breezer once talked to their friend who they're very fond of. Actually, that one started to go Southern Belle or some crap like that. Cheeser Breezer is very agile and rarely sick, but she's flimsy and very slow to heal. Cheeser Breezer likes bismuthinite, trifle pewter, yellow spessartine, the color rose taupe, 8-sided prisms, leggings, buckets, the sounds of the plays of style, and the side of the future dress. When possible, Cheeser Breezer prefers to consume demon rat, durian wine, longland flower, and artichoke hearts. She absolutely detests moon snails, and really, who doesn't? She has good memory, a way with words, good intellect, and good creativity, but shoo-wee, she has an iffy sense for music and very bad intuition. She dreams of crafting a great work of art someday, and I don't know why, because she already done did it. Valor, suicide, and death. Praise rash, hell yeah. I'd pay 500 channel points for you to do dumb voice for accent for me. So here's the problem. There was a time when I used to be quite good at it. I used to have in my repertoire about 6 or 7 like definitive accents I could go in, and 2 of which sounded maybe kind of female. Not that anyone would ever think it was female, but you could definitely tell I was trying to role play as a female. So it helped really a lot with the players. But the problem is that there's so much time now that I try to do any of them, they just all somehow revert to pirate. I don't know why. Like, I need to start studying accents again and like maybe get good at doing a few of them, because now it just sounds really, really bad. All I got in me is just being a northerner, or trying to be a northerner trying to sound southern again, using some good old memory stuck in the back of his head. Now hang on one goddamn second. I'm one of the fair sex, well I'll be. As the way ahoy matey, get good, I'm role playing. So yeah, remember a couple times I've tried role playing and like doing like a posh accent or anything that isn't my accent or southern, and so now I'm gonna try to do it. I'm just gonna sound southern, or what are you doing? This is for some reason what all my accents sound like. If I tried to do an orc or anything, it always sounds like this. It just sounds like I'm a really, really bad Batman. Swear to me. Why don't you go ahead and swear to me or walk the plank? I don't know why. I don't know why this accent came out, but it's what we're dealing with. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why this is the only other accent I seem to be able to do now. And it's not even real pirate accent. It sounds more like the weird fake pirate accent that they do in the Johnny Depp movies. You know the ones I'm talking about. The ones where the beginning was really good, and then the later ones kind of made you question why they were still making the movies. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why. I used to be able to do, like I said, off of the Southern, I used to be able to do it a passable Irish. No one in Ireland, or even England for that matter, would ever think what I was doing was Irish. If someone was ever from there, they would think I was a jackass. But to American ears, it sounded a bit Irish, maybe kind of going, if I did it a bit harsh, gravelly, maybe Scottish. Again, only to American ears. So I do that for like dwarves and the like. I used to be able to do Southern for farmers, rangers, druids, things like that. Used to just use a regular accent for townsfolk, so on and so forth. I used to have a bit of a posh accent, but that one was always one of my weaker ones. That's the one that like I kind of try to have mostly use for females, but not really. It kind of just ended up being like the elven accent, and it never quite worked right. But then, like I said, it's basically now just I've lost them all except for me, Southern, and if I try to do anything else, I just resort to pirate for some reason. What is a real pirate accent? How would we even know? Because a pirate accent isn't actually a thing. A pirate accent would just be a regional dialect with nautical terms thrown in. There weren't as many true pirates. That's a sentence. That's not wrongly said. True pirates. It sounds wrong, but all those words have a different meaning. Here come the push-ups. Someone said do push-ups earlier. So really all any pirate accent would come down to is more along the lines of privateer accents. And those are mostly just regional accents, again, with nautical terms though. Yeah. On the cheeky bricky. Oh, we're trying to do maybe a Slav accent. Cheeky bricky. I've just hit them with that and everyone's convinced I'm Eastern European. I'm not reading that right at all. Do a lewd elf voice. No, I'm not even gonna try. Seek a blat. I also want someone to help me on the taxes while doing a pirate voice. If you'll see here, to now I'm not even doing pirate anymore. I've only got 2 legit ones. But if you see here on line 8, you added in your gross income, and that's not what you add in there. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I've lost control of my life. On line 8, you don't do gross income. You do afflated, you do adjusted income because you paid this in taxes already. You don't pay money for money you already paid. The strength. Do jump clap ones. He didn't stub his toe this time. No. Let me make this clear, Coca-Cola 5. I did not stub my toe last time either. If this were my foot, there's the toe, there's the heel. I tried to move the chair back with the heel and I slammed my heel donkey kick style into the metal end of the chair leg. I at no point stubbed my toe. I slammed my heel into a metal rod. Buffalo, 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 buffalo. Zweihander? That's what I'm saying. German Jew accent. That's what I'm saying. I can't do them now. What I would have to do if I wanted to try to pick up those type of accents again is I would have to watch like a lot of like BritBox to try to get some of those accents back. I'd have to, if I wanted to get a bit of not posh, but just like conversational British, I'd basically try to end up sounding like Lister from Red Dwarf. If I wanted to do posh, I'd probably have to watch, I'd just have to do British comedies. That would be where I'd have to try to get my accents back. That's kind of how I had them way back when, as growing up, as I'd watch a bunch of British comedies. Why? I don't know. What American kid living in Texas do you know doesn't grow up watching anime and British comedies? That's just standard. Everyone does that. Duh. I was destined to never be normal. Zweihander in the back. You were talking about the magic blade. I don't know where my other sword is right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, these guys haven't made an appearance in a while. But we have the claymore. But Irish Scottish? I don't know. It's modeled to look like an Irish or Scottish greatsword. I can't remember which country, unfortunately. I think Irish. But we have the greatsword, the Irish claymore. And then we have what I think is a hand and a half sword because it's got a double pommel. I kind of like this one though because I used to use this and I may at some point use it again. I used to like it though because I set up the green screen correctly. So if I have this in front of a green screen, it becomes invisible. Like you can see it's trying to pick up the green screen effect. I just don't have a green screen behind me to do an actual background. But it's an enchanted blade that floats if I turn on the green screen because of the second handle. Put that back to normal. So yeah, so I used to use that when at like the beginning when I didn't have anything for the channel except maybe the beginnings of a green screen, I would use the enchanted blade for like, let's go on a raid and things like that. I'll probably bring it back again at some point. Just right now, it doesn't fit the motif of the channel. Yo, when are we gonna binge watch Monty Python? I don't think we can. Also, my apartment's slightly warm. Twitch introduced a thing where I can watch shows with you guys, but you have to draw from like their very specific list of shows, and they're not even that good. I don't think I've heard of any of them. I hate the German sense of humor. Magic blade. That's the Scottish cross at the end of the Keelians. Looks like it's Vi-handed, but I'm no sword expert. Double pommel, that's called a ricasso. Pepe laugh. Now you just be exactly. Can't imagine being a GM and only being able to do like 4 different voices. You wound me, good sir. Like I said, I used to be able to do more. At some point, if I got back in the swing of it, I could, but right now I cannot. All right, so I have to get in there maybe and save the bodies of the morons. They just froze, right? That's how I understand this, is that they just froze. Oh no. There we go. This is how this is gonna have to go. Because I don't remember where their bodies were. So we're gonna have to do a search grid pattern like that to try to get in. Can't all be Matthew Mercer. So here's the thing. I challenge you to silly voices. No. Here's the thing. I love the show. I really do. But a lot of people trying to hold DMs and or anything involving role-playing to the degree that is, why do I always forget crucial words in the middle of a sentence? I know they're the Mighty Nine. The show is called Critical Role. To the degree that it's Critical Role is a bit unfair. Because the problem with that is, one, those people all basically, like, I know they used to have a group. I'm not saying that it was created just for that. But at this point, it's so big that they get funding. They have sponsors. Essentially, everyone there is paid to be there. They know it's such a big hit that they're all going to try to put that first. In a regular group on timing, that's never going to happen. So you have an issue with that. Two, they're all voice actors to some varying degree. So they're able to better flesh out their characters because their day-to-day job is pretending to be characters. They're just doing what they're paid to do, but they get to choose what they're wanting to do at this point. So I always don't get me wrong, I don't think they're overrated. Everyone should strive to be like Critical Role. However, nobody should feel bad for not matching that standard because everyone in that field are literally professional role players. Because they're all voice actors or in some part of the field. That's literally what they do for day-to-day money. There is no way that anyone can compete with that because no one is a professional that. They are essentially professional D&D players, except for they don't do D&D for their day-to-day jobs. So there's that too. It is and it isn't. I know what you're talking about for scripted. And again, I would have to argue against it. You have to think about what's going on there. That is an actual legit D&D show. There are times when you can see that it's not wholly scripted. It's not scripted. I feel like saying it's scripted is a little harsh. I know what you're getting at though, but it's a little harsh. There are scenes when some of them get out of hand and the DM's like, I'm warning you, stop doing that. Because they're trying to bring in sponsors. So the big thing is why it would be scripted as compared to a normal D&D thing is all of the players, essentially because they're getting paid, the script is they're allowed to do whatever they want for role playing, but they all know their character has to be progressing the plot. They can't necessarily do something directly against the plot and throw it off the rails. So it's not, I wouldn't call it scripted. I would say it's enhanced. And no, enhanced, I'll give you still the wrong word. It is guided. Critical Role is the only D&D session where everyone involved wants the game to stay on the train track. Because again, they all are essentially paid and get benefits by it being on the train track. I wouldn't call that scripted. There is honest to goodness things that happen behind the scenes and they're rolling the dice and they're seeing how it goes. But yes, it is not completely natural. That would not be how a group works. But that is still the penultimate idea of how a group would work. If you had the most perfect group of friends that were all there wanting to just have fun and to tell a great story, that is how D&D would act. So they all knowingly fluff up their role playing to go with that, to help with the story. Whereas a lot of times the DM is kind of opposing the players. So I wouldn't say it's scripted. And I would agree with you though, it's not natural. But that's not against them. That's just what they're having to do with. They're financed partly and or mostly by Wizards of the Coast. Like, you want to tell me that any D&D group would not immediately be like, all right, whatever, we won't fuck with the DM if I told you were going to get paid by Wizards of the Coast? That's not happening. That's just not happening. That's just the nature of the beast. So I'm not going to hold that against them, but I also feel like nobody should hold the group against themselves. Don't judge yourself to that scale, but I mean, that is something you should still strive for. Just know it's impossible. What do we got here? Granite. Build, construction, wall, granite. Granite block. We'll let that get built and we'll build up the one behind it. And again, no. They don't quite know how to move forward. Every player in every D&D game knows how to go forward. Like that right there is the example point. Remember, they used to play together and Mercer's always the DM. They know his plots. If you play with one DM for years, you know how to make the story go forward. You know the type of stories that they come up with, the type of things they like telling. Again, that's what every group kind of ends up like. That's not completely unnatural. The only thing that is unnatural is all the players want it to go forward. That's really the big thing. That's how, I'll agree with you on that. I will agree with you that I wouldn't use scripted, but I will agree with you on that isn't how D&D goes down, and it is unfair to rate people against it. But I would not say it's scripted. Guided, I'll use guided. Guided, I will use the term guided, not scripted though. Yeah, they're not gonna be hobo killers, for instance. You're not going to have a bunch of hobo killers because that's not entertaining. Like if you look at their early games, compare their early games before they really got funding to their later games, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. At the beginning, like they questioned Matt more. Is that how that works? Are you sure about that? You know, no, I think it would work better this way. But then as soon as they started getting funding, and it was like, oh, people are watching you and this is really good. We'll give you money and shit for this if you also do ads for us. As soon as it became apparent that the entertainment of the group, the watchers, was way more important than their entertainment as players, they stopped fighting Matt on things. They just, whatever he says is a rule is immediately accepted, even if it's wrong. Because any time spent arguing with him is not entertaining to the viewers. Again, not scripted, just they understand the rules. They are within the guidelines. But it's not like they have a contract saying if you disagree with him, you'll be fired. Every single one of the players understands. The only difference between that and a regular group is in a regular group, you don't get positive reinforcement for not being assholes. That's really it. We had some night where we just had base and bar all night. You want to watch a show where the players go off the rails and have no idea what's going on? They even rules lawyered. If you want to watch a show where the players go off the rails and even rules lawyer, or are you saying that there's a different show? Or are you saying a different one? That's my point being, I understand. I can see where people are coming from on some people thinking it's a bit overrated. I have to disagree. I even think it is, in fact, a blessing for D&D and role-playing as a whole that they are what they are and are as successful as they are. I just also don't want people to ever value themselves as a DM or as players as any worse by comparing themselves to that group, because it is not all natural and that is an impossible standard to maintain. It's like someone going on a diet. You shouldn't quit the diet because you see people on model runways weighing like 20 pounds. Like, yeah, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't lose weight. Yeah, it's a completely impossible standard. Like, don't hold yourself to it. But yeah, if you want to look at a skinny person and be like, oh, look, I desire to be skinny like that, then let it be your guide. Just realize it's an impossible standard. Lol, get wrecked. I don't know what mystery game free. What is mystery game? I don't know what that means. Get wrecked. I spent 70 on Final Fantasy 14. Get wrecked. I bought it for 30 a month ago. Well, I don't think Tachulu's saying he bought Final Fantasy for 70. I think he's saying he spent. Like he got extras and accoutrements. I mean, I like watching their stuff, but yeah, no, don't hold yourself to that standard. I kind of find it weird though that it is essentially splitting the group. You have a bunch of old, we'll say, pure Protestant D&D players who hold themselves up to a high regard and will militantly treat Critical Role as if it were the enemy. And the only reason why I bring them up is because they'll hold it against new players. We're like, yeah, I like D&D, I watch Critical Role. That, I think kind of the point of my entire thing is getting to that though, is don't do that. Don't hate on someone for getting into the game because they like it. That's just goofy. No, not a bookcase. Like it's just, I find it weird how the group is, how the D&D group is somehow expanding yet splitting. It's really weird, and we all need to like try to not do that. The whole purpose about D&D was for a bunch of outcast nerds to get together and have fun. That was kind of it. That was kind of the whole purpose of it from the beginning. And now that it's getting a better presence in the world, somehow the group is fracturing because they don't like having more of a presence. And as I've always said, I really like efficiency and I hate stupidity. And hating when your goal is succeeding, I find inefficient and stupid. All right, we've gotten all the bookcases, we've gotten all the chests, we've gotten all the tables, we've gotten all the chairs. The only thing that we need in the library, and it's a very minor thing, are books. I don't like Critical Role, but it doesn't mean I don't think it shouldn't exist. That's yeah, exactly. Did the one thing ever get built? I guess it did. Fantastic, we're saved. And I got the bodies out of there, so we're good in that regard too. I don't want to know why there's pots randomly down here. Why are people throwing potato wine pots in the water? Is that open? Hold on. Did I hook up to you anything? Is there a way to auto dump destroy here? GUI pathable. So I have a floodgate that's open. No, I don't. The 7s would have pushed through. And they wouldn't be pressuring up here. All right, I have a closed floodgate. It just looks like a weird closed gym. All right, I'll accept that for what it is. Yeah, no, I see some of these comments and stuff online, and it's like, that annoys me. Like, there are flaws with critical roles, but the people who genuinely use that as a bludgeon against others annoy me. Orthodox Christians, go buy your way into heaven. There's always a group who needs to feel they're better than others. Wow, triple negative. That ruins my point. Good job, brain. It happens and everything. Do you not throw potato wines? No, I don't throw potato wine pots in the water. That's not my thing. Some folks aren't content to just enjoy things. Must feel they're better at thing than everyone else. It's sometimes called elitism. You know what grinds my gears? D&D hacks to make D&D work in other scenarios where there's already other RPGs that are designed to work in other scenarios like modern day or sci-fi. Want to play Adventures of Smoker's Forest? Why not? Just play Mouse Guard. Are you talking about like their weird campaign, Win the Druids Away? That was kind of a weird one. Then they started putting in Animal Awakening and stuff like that. Stop liking what I don't like. I'm willing to bet that little sound curve is going to be real great on YouTube. Don't worry though, no one on YouTube will actually know what that sounded like. I try to filter the audio. I legit treat the audio to make it smoother and not quite so inorganic. Wrong term. For YouTube. It's one of the reasons why it actually takes so long. So I try to sound balance all the audio together so it doesn't sound like garbage. So no one on YouTube will know the true effect of.
Another dwarf has got an idea.
Good, fantastic. You get an idea down there. I'm not going to question why there's a child down in the lava. Was he going down to this office to eat? Someone kind of started doing it to me earlier today. I said I'd picked up Dungeons & Dragons online again appropriately enough, and they spent like 20 minutes trying to tell me why it's bad. As the Singularity is free on Humble Bundle. Kid claimed a Crafts Dwarf. Is it free on the Humble Bundle? I'm gonna do a save right now. I know it's not the right time, but I just want to make sure. I have a feeling. I should want to save. But I know the sound. But I know the sound. You cannot hide forever. Editing videos and shit. That's why it takes so long to get this stuff onto the archive channel. The goofy thing is, most of that time too is then spent waiting. I spend most of my time, like when I'm learning things about Premiere and the other shit, I spend most of the time trying to figure out what at the end of the day will make it render faster. I have a super strong computer purely designed for rendering, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, I have no clue how to get to use the graphics card. I think I would save 2+ hours if I could figure out how to get Adobe Premiere to use my Radeon 7 for rendering. That's the legit purpose. That's the legit purpose of why I have it, and I don't think I get it to work right. I don't think it uses it. You're not making me do push-ups. I wasn't a seasonal. I just felt like maybe I needed to be careful. No, Fire never clarified that, so I'm just refusing that one. Library. Tachulu, I think I'm gonna mark yours as complete. You wanted a high quality room as a library, and we have a gigantic floor of the tower with 64 bookcases. There are written objects. I don't know how. We have 6 written objects, 16 koboldite boxes, 64 obsidian bookcases, 24 chairs that are made of granite, and 24 chairs that are also made of granite. I'm going to mark this as completing the high quality room. That's the only reason to get a Radeon 7. That's why I did it, and I don't think it works. RNG is a sham. He lied about push-ups. Hey, you have to go look up how to optimize your rendering process. I've tried that. And that's why I've done a few things, but a lot of the times they're not designed for how I'm doing editing, if that makes sense. Like a lot of these things, like, oh, you know, when you go out in the field and record 8 hours of like raw live footage using your red, Red's a company, I guess, using your red camera with the red card, and you plug this into the red box. You spend $90 billion and you do this and you'll save 10 minutes. No! How do I make this work with a Radeon 7? Are you a Quill 18 clone? No, why? What does Quill 18 do? Does he have a Radeon? I know of Quill 18, but I do not believe. All right, so right now I'm using the Adobe Suite because I'm a student and I get it for cheap. I do also, however, have installed the other program, the DaVinci program. Problem is, I started using the Adobe before DaVinci. Are we saving for the... Fuck, I'll do push-ups for this one. I started using Adobe before I even knew of DaVinci. And they work two different ways. So now I have no clue what I do in DaVinci, and every time I even try, I waste hours for no good reason. So I don't really have anything that works off of DaVinci right now. I believe it would work better with the graphics card. But I waste way more hours trying to just figure out how to do a workflow in DaVinci. So while I have it installed, I don't use it. Now, you look kind of similar, hair, beard, and glasses. Well, the hair, I kind of share that in common with a lot of these creatures called humans. So, unfortunately, got me on that one. I do, in fact, have the hair. And, what are the other ones? Beard. I am a male, and I used to be in the military, and I really, really hated shaving every day, so I grow that. Got me on that one. I am a male that does not like shaving, though I do shave occasionally. And glasses. So when two people get together and they like each other a lot, one of them will honk their clown horn at the other one. And if the other clown isn't expecting the clown horn honk, the water won't get in the right hole, and then the kid will have weird eyes. So that one's not my fault. That one is not my fault. You have to blame my clown parents for honking wrong. I'm cool 18 too then. Great, Bear Grylls is dead. What happened? First of all, Byway, Yi, and Cheezer Breezer, congratulations, you're married. 2, Bear Grylls is dead. Does anyone know what happened to Bear Grylls? Why is Bear Grylls dead? Was he fighting? No. So why is he dead? All right, he's dead now. That's what happens when you're Bear Grylls 88. Maybe the Uwu claimed another victim. No, he was just in the middle of the room. He was just in the middle of the room dead. I don't know why he was dead. And now people are grieving because a friend of theirs died. How many? Don't tell me we filled up all our coffins again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, plenty. We still have a bunch of coffins. Good. Fine. Fantastic. Can't do anything about the giant cardinals because the game hates us.
Sir, an artifact has been completed.
Really? That's good news. Let's go see it.
Normally, I kind of gloss over this particular announcement. We're gonna read this one. Kadol Riberber, Dwarven Child, has created Coman Laven, a hematite figurine of Dusum Dreamy Roof. He claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Cheezer Breezer. So somehow, this item was inspired by Cheezer Breezer. Coman Laven, the Spread Prairies, a hematite figurine of Dusum someone or other. Basic value 34,800 dwarf bucks, weighs 5 dwarf pounds. Remember, this is inspired by Cheezer Breezer, so everyone think of Cheezer Breezer as I read this. This is a hematite figurine of Dusum Dreamy Roof. All craftsdwarfship is of the highest quality. The item is a massively designed image of Dewsome Dreamy Roof, the dwarf in hematite by Cadole Riverbur. Dewsome Dreamy Roof is making a plaintive gesture. The arc relates to the drowning of the dwarf Dewsome Dreaming Roof in the deep hill in the mid-spring of the year 220. It is encircled with bands of round hematite cabicons, trillion-cut green glass gems and silver. The object is adorned with hanging rings of cave spider silk. Dedicated... that escalated quickly. I didn't see that coming. The arc relates to how he drowned. Ah, yes. My family ancestor, Cheeser Breezer. He once told me a story. Let me tell you about the time that he drowned someone, I guess. Righteous Boner, getting dwarf number 11. All right, Righteous, I got you. 5, 10. Oh, let's do a reread in case I got more people. And I did. 13, 12, 11. I think I can fit your your full name in. Righteous Boner. Admit that in. And give me a little bit for it to filter through the game. Like literally probably only takes like 10 seconds tops, but whatever. And then I'll read your description. Are we then Quill 18 billion? I think it's cabochons. I know, I read it a different way every time. I've read it as cabicons, cabochons, cabicins. I keep reading it a different way, I don't know why. Hammer time? Dwarf, welcome to Mountain Home. 2 cats yelling. You died earlier, 12, 11, 10. I forget why you died though, but you were just dead. Does anyone remember why 2 cats yelling died? Was he the ones that got killed for blowing the whistle? Was he the whistleblower? Why did he die? And me the 12. What do you mean, and me the 12? Did you get dwarfed and I missed the command? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, okay, there you go. 13, 11, 12, 13. Use online. All right, now I think in order, because the first one had to have gone through by now. Why won't it let me go up? Righteous Boner. Righteous Boner. Your lover is the hectic hermit, and you pray to Viku, who most often takes the form of a male human and is associated with seasons. We're not going to question why the only god you pray to is a human god. But your lover is hectic hermit, and you don't know anyone at the base. Righteous Boner. You can always rely on your family when everything else falls away. Righteous Boner. She is incredibly tough, but she is quite clumsy. Righteous Boner, like serpentine, sterling silver, praise, round lime wood, the color dark tan, cloaks, spiked balls, one-humped camels for their hump, and the sound of the flute of amethyst. When possible, she prefers to consume brook lamprey, cranberry wine, and soft wheat seeds. She absolutely detests rats. She has unbreakable focus, a boundless creative imagination, a great sense of empathy, a good memory, and good intuition. But she has a shortage of patience, a meager kinesthetic sense, and poor spatial senses. She dreams of mastering a skill someday. Oh, and fuck, I forgot. What does it say they are? They're a hauler. Right now, you carry things. Who got dwarfed next? It was 2 cats yelling. 2 cats yelling, who is currently meditating on scholarship. 2 cats yelling. Our woodcutter is your husband. You pray to Melville, who most often takes the form of a female dwarf and associated with wisdom and scholarship. You also don't have many friends on the base. I have communed with Melville. I am filled with wonder. See, we didn't go long enough. Your name didn't go through. 2 cats yelling. I'm gonna have to remember 2 cats yelling. 2 cats yelling is tough, but she is clumsy, very quick to tire, and very weak. 2 cats yelling like stoneware, nickel silver, gray chalcedony, the color dark olive, crossbows, cabinets, chickens for their scratching, the words of the mindful lesson, and the sound of the queen of aquamarine. When possible, she prefers to consume moose, passion fruit wine, and lentils. She absolutely detests oysters. She has a great memory, a very good sense of empathy, willpower, and a good kinesthetic sense, but she has little difficulty with words, poor focus, and meager creativity. She dreams of creating a great work of art someday. And we're going to wait a little bit because if that name wasn't in, we definitely don't have use online through yet. What is this mode? This is Fortress mode. I don't think this is Space Fox. Yeah, it's Phoebus. The one thing is never updated right. I thought I changed it, but it didn't. Could be cool is the command gave us a nice resume of her history, but seems impossible. It's not completely impossible. I just don't know the scripting myself. I do intend to have a script for it so I can make it work better, but that's not happening until summer break, and I still got a week left of class. So at that point, I'm going to have to teach myself scripting again to make that work. Because there's already, you have to remember, there's a channel where you can type in commands and they give you your information on dwarves. So there's a script that makes it possible. I just don't know, like, I want to do the ones where it can be where you're interactive, not the ones where I have no control, because I don't trash talk much, but that one channel annoys the shit out of me. Like, they don't do anything. It's annoying. And we got another dwarf. Dwarf number 13. Or Ghost Word, you're alive again. 11, 12, 13. We're going to commit that in. And then we're going to split up the name reading on the archives. Because those of you who are watching after the fact on YouTube, we're over the hour. And we're going to end you on a cliffhanger. Catch you guys next time.